Hello Seekers, thank you for joining me today for part 2 of this playthrough trilogy look at Warlock Knight for the Dungeon Fantasy RPG powered by GURPS. In the last episode we ended with failed tracking roll in the Darkmoon Forest. We're looking for some sort of beast that is terrorizing the area, and after our failed tracking roll we were ambushed by a group of murderous brigands. So we are now dealing with that, and they are about to take their first turn while all of our characters, our adventurers, are stunned. So let's start off with the first turn, and I'm going to be using an app that I also used in the Getting Started guide, which is, it's called Initiative Plus, and this app is only available for iOS. So unfortunately you wouldn't be able to use it on an Android device, but if you have an iOS device, I would highly recommend this app. It is designed or intended for Dungeons and Dragons, but it does have some uses if you kind of work around it a little bit. It does work pretty well for Dungeon Fantasy RPG as well. So I have all of the combatants entered in there, and we're going to go ahead and start the fight here. And the first turn would actually be Murray would actually be the fastest, which Murray is our swashbuckler, but because we have been stunned here, it's going to go down to Giza's turn. So we'll just end that turn and we'll go down to Giza. And so we'll start off with Giza. She is the leader of the brigands here. And all of the brigands are equipped with bows. Giza has a longbow, and the other two brigands have just a regular bow. And so for the purposes of their ambush, we're going to say that they all have equipped their bows. And so really all they need to do right now is they just need to pull their arrows from their quivers and draw the bow back, which they can do in the first turn. So all of them are going to pull out their arrows and draw their bows, and that will be the extent of what they can do in the first turn. So now we'll pass over to our fighters. So that's going to end the first turn, and then we're going to start that will end the first round, and we'll start round 2 now with Murray. So now Murray can make a IQ check to see if she can snap out of the mental stun from the ambush. Now I believe she's got the combat reflexes. Yes, so she has combat reflexes, so she would actually get a +6 to any attempt to remove mental stun from an ambush. So combat reflexes, you can see, is very powerful in the event of an ambush. So she's going to have an automatic +6 to whatever we roll here. And with her IQ of 10, so we simply only need to roll a 4 or higher at this point. And so we would actually subtract 6 so that it would be underneath the threshold. So in this case, if we subtract 6, then we're going to have 9, and with her IQ of 10, that's going to be under the threshold there, so she will pass that. So she has now snapped out of the mental stun, and we're going to go on to our next fighter here, which is going to be Lance. And Lance, I believe, also has the combat reflexes. Yes, he does. So he will also have the bonus there. So we'll roll against his IQ, which is also 10, and we just subtract the 6 there, and that gives him a roll of an 8. So he's going to come out of the stun as well. And then now we're going to be on to now it's going to be Giza's turn. So Giza will get a chance to fire, and it's probably going to be best for her to fire at the target that is still stunned, which at this point would be Foxglove. And Foxglove is, of course, our scout right here. So we'll have Giza fire over at Foxglove. Now, if she was to wait one more turn, she could get the benefits of her accuracy bonus by aiming and then firing. But I think time is of the essence with this ambush. So she's going to go ahead and fire now, because Foxglove will have a -4 to their active defense due to the mental stun. But with the distance here, there is going to be some amount of penalty to this. So we're looking at a -4, and let's see, that would be probably about, I think it's just going to be maybe a -5 penalty there. So that's a little bit of a penalty. And of course, she's not going to get the accuracy bonus. She would get an accuracy bonus of 3 if she was aiming, but that will not happen. So Giza will draw the bow, and she has a longbow skill of 14, but she's got a penalty of 5, so she's going to have to roll at least an 8 or at least a 9 here to get under this. So, and it looks like she has done it. So she has rolled a 9, and with the penalty there, she's still able to get the shot off. And we will have a dodge roll for Foxglove, but this is going to be at a -4. So Foxglove's dodge is going to be 9 right now, and this will be at a -4. So let's see how that goes. And that's going to be way too high. And so he absolutely will not dodge that attack there. So let's see how much damage we're going to receive from Giza. So she fires and her arrow hits, and it's going to be 1d plus 1 impaling. Okay, so we'll roll a 1d for the damage here. And this is going to be, so that's going to be 5 plus 1 is 6. And we have a damage resistance of 2 with the armor. So that means 4 damage is going to go through the armor, and that's going to be impaling damage, which means at times 2. So that's going to be 8 damage to Foxglove here. And with the HP of 13, Foxglove is going to be down to 5 HP. And because this is dealing more than half or more damage, half or more of the total HP damage in a single blow, so he's going to have to make a knockdown check against health here, and that is going to be a 10. So he will survive the knockdown check, but he is going to take damage, quite a considerable amount of damage there. All right, so Foxglove's HP is going to go down to 5. So he's going to take 8 damage here. And yeah, Foxglove is down to 5 HP. So that was a pretty heavy hit right there. And now it is going to be Foxglove's turn. So Foxglove is also going to try to check IQ and break out of the stun. And I think Foxglove does not have combat reflexes. No, so there's not going to be anything that will contribute to, that will help with the IQ roll here. So we got a 11, and that I think is not going to be enough to get out of stun, no. So Foxglove will remain stunned and will simply not be able to do anything for right now. And we'll go on to Ervig. And now Ervig is going to be able to fire his bow. And Ervig has the bow skill of 13, and it's going to be 1d plus 1 impaling damage. So let's roll for Ervig's shot here and see if he hits. And that's going to be an 11, so that will be a successful shot. And but who is Ervig shooting? So we'll say Ervig is going to be going for probably go ahead and go for Foxglove again. So Ervig is going to go for Foxglove, and Foxglove has rolled a 9, and with the -4 for stun, that's going to be 13. So Foxglove will not be able to dodge here. And so Foxglove is going to get hit. Let's roll for damage. And that's a 4. 4 plus 1 is going to be 5. And then 2 we'll subtract 2 for the damage resistance. And that's going to be 3 damage times 2 is going to be 6. So Foxglove is now at -1 damage, and also has to make a knockdown check for going below the 0 HP threshold. And that looks like a pretty good roll there, 8. So Foxglove will not collapse, but Foxglove is now at -1 HP. So we'll note that on here. HP is at -1. And now every turn, Foxglove is going to have to make a health check to see if he will remain conscious. And that will progressively get worse if Foxglove does take more damage. So let me mark in here that Foxglove is basically at 0 health. But yeah, he's actually at -1. Okay, so that's going to take care of Ervig's turn, and now it is going to be Billimer's turn. And this time we'll have Billimer is going to target Lance here. So let's roll Billimer's bow, which is also going to be 13. And that looks like a pretty good roll there. That's a 10, so that will hit. And we're going to check the defense for Lance here, and Lance is probably going to want to use his shield here. Now he has an 11 for block, and if it's an attack that comes from the front, he gets a +1. So this attack is coming from the front, so he's going to have a +1. So let's go ahead and roll for his block here and see if he can block this. And that's going to be 9, so he will be able to block. And you know what? I just realized that I forgot to take into account the damage, or sorry, the distance penalty. And I also forgot to take into account the distance penalty for the attack on Foxglove. I don't remember what Ervig rolled, so I guess we'll just have to deal with it. Unfortunately, Foxglove might have been able to not be hit on that one, but anyway. And then we had a successful dodge here with Lance, so we'll just say that all is well that ends well there. But yeah, I can't forget to take into account the distance penalty, because that may have in fact caused the shot to miss last time. So try to remember that going forward. All right, now it's going to be Moray's turn. Moray is probably going to look at moving as much as she can. So she's got a move of 6. So we'll go ahead and move 6 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So Moray will move up 6. That's going to be all that Moray can do for this turn. So we'll go on to Lance. And Lance has got a move of 7. But I think that he has some encumbrance right now. So due to Lance's encumbrance of light, he is only going to be able to move 5. So Lance will move 5 there. It's probably going to be in their best interest to switch their weapons now instead of trying to fire again. So, okay, that's going to be all they can do right now. Now it's going to be Giza's turn. So Giza is going to take her turn to switch her weapon over to her baton. So she will pull out her melee weapon. Let's see if she would want to move forward. I think it's probably better for them to allow us to move forward, and so they probably want to maintain their grouping here. So I think she'll just simply pull out her baton. She's not going to move forward or do anything right now. And then Foxglove needs to make a health check. So let's see if Foxglove will be knocked unconscious or not. And that looks pretty bad there. That's going to be a 14. And yeah, Foxglove is now unconscious. So in this case, Foxglove is maybe succumbing to pain from his wounds. And he is above -1x HP. So his HP is 13. And if he was at -14 HP, then he would be in a worse category here, but because he's above -1x, he needs to make an HT roll once every hour to see if he will awaken. So we're going to end Foxglove's turn. We'll go over to Ervig's turn. And Ervig is also going to switch to his baton. And he will also move up a couple spaces here to kind of assist with making a little battle line here. And then we're going to end his turn and go over to Billimer. Billimer is also going to switch to his baton, and he will move over and draw in to help form the battle line there. And that's going to end the turn for the Brigands. Now we're over to Moray. And Moray is going to move forward. Let's see, Moray can move... She could move 6 to here, but it might be better for us to not move quite that far. Let's see what other kind of options we might have here. So right now, Moray has the Light Edge Rapier in hand, and then she's got her in her offhand, she's got the main gouge. So she needs to get into a range of 1 hex in order to reach them for an attack. But because she has to do an all-out move here, she's not really going to be able to attack. Okay, so she could do a full move, but she would not be able to retreat, parry, or block with her attacking hand if she did a full move and attacked. So I think that would be a bad idea, considering that she would basically be surrounded by enemies. So we'll go ahead and move her just 5 here up to 1, and then if the enemies want to draw forward, then they're going to have to come forward to do anything to attack her, and she's still going to have her full defensive options available. So that'll end Moray's turn, and then Lance, he can move up to 5. So we'll have Lance simply come alongside there to kind of help to work together there. And that will end Lance's turn. And now it's going to be Giza's turn. So Giza, I think their reach on her baton is 1, so she would also have to move forward if she wanted to attack right now. And so she can do a free step and attack, which a step is going to be 1 square. So I suppose we can have her do a step and attack Lance. And I think what Lance will do is he will block with his shield. So let's have Giza attack with her baton. So we're going to roll for her baton. Her skill is 12 right now. And that's going to be an 11. So she does hit with a baton. And we'll block with the shield. Lance is going to have 12 block right now since he's taking an attack from the front or the side. He gets a +1. And he has rolled an 11 there, so he will be able to block that. So Lance has no trouble blocking Giza's baton attack. That's going to take care of Giza's turn. Foxglove, I guess we can do the first roll for him to recover. We'll say this is his first roll. And if he doesn't recover now, he can't roll again for another hour, which means that's going to be well after the fight's over. So this is basically his one chance to recover here. And it looks like he's done it. He's rolled an 11. So Foxglove has awakened, but he would now be at half move and half dodge, but he can do other actions normally. And he does not have to roll against HT every turn now, unless he receives a new injury. Now, it doesn't say if their hit points actually go back to like 1 or something like that, so I guess his hit points would still be considered to be at -1. But he can act normally, just that he has the half move and the half dodge right now. So, so now that he's awakened, we could say next turn he would be able to possibly do an attack, which I think at this point we'd want to keep him in the back and just have him maybe attack with a bow if possible. So we'll end his turn for now. And Ervig is going to come over and attack. So Ervig will move up here. And Ervig will try to attack Murray. So Ervig is going to attack with his baton. And Murray will probably try to parry. Yeah, Murray is going to parry. And Murray has 12F, which is a fencing parry. And there are some special rules for that. So we'll look up the fencing parry if we need to here. And that's a pretty good roll there of a 9. So Ervig's attack is going to hit. Let's roll for Murray's parry. We're going to get under a 12. And that, unfortunately, is not going to be a good roll there at 16. But I will look up the fencing parry very quickly just to make sure there isn't any bonus or something that we're missing out on. Okay, so she would get a +3 bonus if she was doing a retreat parry. And actually, a retreat parry or a retreat dodge is probably what I should have done anyway to get a defensive bonus there. But a retreat parry or retreat dodge does require you to step back 1 hex. So in this case, she's just going to fail the parry there. And we're going to roll for damage with Ervig here. And he's going to roll a 2D -1 crushing. So that is 9. That's going to be 8. So that's pretty hefty bit of damage there. And that's crushing damage. So that is going to, we've got a DR of 1. So that's going to be 7 damage. And that's going to be more than half of Murray's health here. So let's take 7 off of Murray. And Murray is down to 5, and now Murray needs to make a knockdown check here. So we'll roll against Murray's health, which is at 12, or HT. And she does pass that, no problem there. But that is a pretty good hit. And so Murray is going to have at least a little bit of a wound to deal with there. And now we'll go over to Billimer. And Billimer is going to, he's going to have to do a move and attack. So he will have some penalties to defense in the next turn due to a move and attack. Let's see if that penalizes anything else. So he wouldn't be able to retreat, parry, or block in the next turn. So now he's going to attack with his baton. It's going to be 13. And it looks like he actually failed this one, so he whiffed with the baton. And he'll probably be a good target to hit with Lance next turn. So, all right, now Murray is going to go ahead and attack. She's going to try to get some payback on Ervig here, who whacked her with a baton last time. So Murray is going to go for the light-edged rapier. And she's got a skill of 15, which is pretty good. And she might actually have another bonus here. We'll make sure that she doesn't have another bonus. So she would have a 1D plus 2 damage with all of her bonuses with the rapier. So she could do 1D plus 2 cutting or 1D plus 2 impaling. And I think we'd be better off going for the impaling. So we're going to go for 1D plus 2 impaling damage. That's the nice thing about a rapier is that you can slash or you can pierce or thrust. So let's roll for her skill here of 15. And that's going to be a successful roll there. And what do we have for defenses on Ervig? So Ervig can parry or dodge. Now in this case, he's probably going to want to do a retreat dodge. So if he does a retreat dodge with boxing, judo, karate, main gouge, rapier, saber, or small sword, he would get a +3, but he doesn't have any of those skills. But he can do a retreat parry, which would give him a +1. So he will do a retreat parry. So he'll get a +1 to his parry here. He's got a parry of 9, so he's gonna have his target number is gonna be a 10 right here. And wow, that's a great roll there. He got a 5. That would actually be, if his well, it's like a critical. If he had a higher skill, you have to have a 15 in his skill to get a critical on a 5. But that's a very good success there. So he's going to back up 1 square, or 1 hex. But Murray can automatically move forward 1 hex because she has not taken a step. She's not used a step action. So she will follow up, kind of pushing him back and follow up, but she cannot, she will not be able to hit him this turn, of course, or attack again. So that's going to end Murray's turn. Now Lance, as we said, Billimer did the move attack, and now Billimer is not going to be able to parry or block or dodge. So we're definitely going to go after Billimer here. And I think we're going to go for an all-out attack. And this would be a strong attack. I think an all-out strong attack, you get a +2 damage. All right, so we're going to go for an all-out attack strong, and you can make an attack at your normal skill, and if you hit, you get +2 damage. So we're going to go for an all-out attack strong, and we're going to do that because we know that Billimer is not going to be able to dodge or anything. So Lance definitely wants to go for this right now. And for Lance, we're rolling on the mace skill. We're going to go for crushing damage here. And that looks like a good roll right there. We got a 10. So now we'll roll for damage. It's going to be 2d +4. And it will actually be 2d +6 in this case. So that's going to be 17. And that is a really nice chunky attack right there. Let's see how much Billimer can absorb with his armor. He's going to have 2, so it'll be reduced to 15. And so Billimer is going to take 15 points of damage. And right now Billimer has 13 hit points. So Billimer has absolutely been crushed. He is just down and out. And because he is a standard enemy, we are saying that he is dead. So Lance crushes him with a single blow. Probably crushes his skull in, I guess we'll say. So Billimer is out of the battle. So we'll remove him from the battle right now. And we just have Giza and Ervig. And Ervig is also going to be using the sort of truncated condition rules. So Ervig will be dead at 0 HP, but with Giza we will use the full condition rules, which you've already seen a little bit of with Foxglove, how that went. So, all right, now it's going to be Giza's turn, and Giza is also going to attack with her baton, and she will go ahead and attack Lance, and Lance is probably going to want to block here. Or he could go for a parry. Let's just say parry. So he will have, his target number would be a 12. And Giza is targeting 12 with her baton. And it looks like Giza has gone over. So Giza was going to whiff there. Nothing to worry about for Lance. He's able to get through that okay. Now, Foxglove, he can take 1 turn now to load, to pull an arrow from his quiver and to draw the bow. I believe that's how it's going to go. Oh, actually, no, he has the heroic crossbowman skill, and I believe he has fast draw. Or does he not have fast draw? Okay, so if he did have fast draw, we could speed up this process quite a bit, but I think with heroic crossbowman, it's not going to be enough to attack extremely quickly here. Let's check that out. All right, so it's going to take us 1 second to span the crossbow, and then it would also take 1 second to load the weapon because we do not have fast draw, unfortunately. And So it's going to take 2 rounds before we can actually fire, even with the heroic crossbowman. So you really need to have fast draw and heroic crossbowman if you want to make the most of this. But okay, so Foxglove is going to go ahead and span the crossbow, and we'll go over to Ervig's turn. And I should also take Billimer out of here. We'll reduce his HP. All right, so Ervig is going to attack Murray. So we'll roll on his baton, and that's going to be a 13, which will be a successful attack. And Murray is going to go for a dodge parry, which would be 12 plus 3, so that would be 15. And that was a 4 right there. So that would actually be a critical defense. So there's really no chance for Murray to take any damage. So Murray does an excellent job there. All right, so Murray has parried the attack, and that's going to take care of Ervig's turn. Billimer is out of the fight, and then we're back to Murray. So Murray is going to attack Ervig here, and she's going to be rolling against her light edge rapier. Her skill is 15, and she would do, actually I think with combat reflexes she actually has a higher skill than 15. Yeah, Murray would have a skill of 16 here, and she could do 1d plus 2 impaling. So she'll go for a thrust here, and that's going to be a 10. So that is a successful attack right there. And now Ervig is also going to do the dodge parry again, or the retreat parry. So he'll get a +1 to his parry here. And once again, he has pulled off a very good parry. So he is going to move back, and Murray will step forward one more time there. So Ervig is proving to be quite the wily brigand. It's very difficult to hit. So we'll end Murray's turn. We'll go over to Lance, and now Lance is going to attack Giza, try to bring down the leader. So Lance will go with his deadly mace, attack skill of 15, and that's a 14 there, so that is all right. Giza, she will go with a retreat parry, and that is not going to cut it there, 14. So she does pull back for the retreat, but we are able to step forward and hit her. And we're going to be rolling 2d plus 4 here with the mace. And unfortunately, kind of a bad roll there. So we got a 3, and that's going to be 7. Giza will be able to absorb 2 of that with her armor. So that'll be 5 damage, 5 crushing damage to Giza. And Giza will be down to, looks like 6 HP here. So yeah, Giza is down to 6. And now it's going to be Giza's turn. So Giza is going to attack with the baton. And that's going to be a 13. That is, her baton skill is 12, so she does whiff there. So Lance is okay this turn, and we go over to Foxglove. So Foxglove has spanned the crossbow, and now Foxglove is going to load and draw up the crossbow, and then next turn Foxglove would be able to attack with the crossbow. So that will end Foxglove's turn, and we'll go over to Ervig. Ervig is going to attack with the baton, and that's a good roll there, 7, so he will have a successful attack. And Murray is going to do the retreat parry here, And that's a very good retreat parry. So she will retreat back and parries. And Ervig will just go ahead and step forward. So they're kind of pushing each other, sort of a push-pull going on here. And they both refuse to be hit. So they have an epic dodge battle going on right here. All right, and we go over to Murray. Okay, now let's see if Murray can finally break this tie here and get a hit on this guy. So she's got a good roll there of a 9. And then we'll go for the retreat parry on Ervig again. And oh, this time I think he's not going to make it. He's got 12, and his retreat parry would be 10. So he does fail. So he does step back. We step forward, but we will be able to roll for damage this time. And that is going to be 1d plus 2 impaling. So we got a 4, and that'll be a 6. 2 damage is going to be absorbed. 4 damage will get through. That is times 2 for impaling. So that's 8 damage to Ervig. And Ervig is going to be down to, let's punch in 8 damage here for Ervig. And Ervig is now down to 5. And Ervig also does need to make a roll for a knockdown check. So rolling against Ervig's HT, good roll there. He will not be knocked down. But Murray does finally break the dodge battle and get a hit, a good solid hit onto Ervig there. All right, now Lance is going to go after Giza once again. And that's a good roll there. He got a 12. Giza will go for the retreat dodge, or retreat parry, sorry. And that looks like a good one right there. So Giza pulls off the retreat parry. And we continue to step forward. Now Giza has been pushed back to the rocky outcrop here. So Giza will not be able to do a retreat parry in the next turn or a retreat dodge. Unless Lance does a retreat and pushes back. But I think in this case, Lance is he's not going to give ground. So he doesn't want to give ground, so he's going to probably go ahead and try to block this with his shield. So let's have Giza roll for her attack. And she's going to have a 12 there, so she will succeed with her attack. And as I said, Lance is not going to retreat back. He wants to keep Giza against the wall. So he will go for a block here, which is going to be a 12. And yeah, he gets the block, no problem. So Lance is all right. He's got Giza back up against the wall. Foxglove now can attack, but he is going to have his range penalty here. So it would probably be a penalty of -5. And I think with the heroic crossbow, he will not actually have to deal with the range penalty. Okay, so he will still have to take the range penalty, but he can do the he can get the accuracy bonus without having to take an aim maneuver. So I think in this case we're going to shoot with an all-out attack, because an all-out attack will give us a bonus here as well, and he's not really worried about being attacked or anything. So we'll go with an all-out attack, which would give us we could have a +4 bonus with an all-out attack. Okay, so we cannot do an all-out attack with a ranged attack. So I forgot about that. All-out attacks are only for melee attacks. So we're going to have to deal with a -5 penalty here with the range, but we do get a +3 bonus with because of the heroic crossbowman adding in the aim bonus. So let's roll here and see what we can do. We got a 9 there, and that would be a 11 actually with the penalty. And our crossbow skill is 18, so we are totally fine there. And this is going to be a 1d6 impaling. We're going to attack right here to Ervig. So Ervig is going to try to dodge. And he could do a retreat dodge. So let's roll for a retreat dodge. And oh man, he got it. He got the retreat dodge. And Ervig is just killing it with these dodges. Look at that, 2 skulls, man. Ervig, this guy is on fire. He is a dodging machine. So all those wasted turns for Foxglove and nothing. All right, so we end Foxglove's turn. Ervig, the dodging master, the dodging machine. He will have to step forward to attack Murray. So he steps forward to attack, and we'll roll his baton attack here. And it looks like he is actually going to miss this time. That's a 13. No, actually he will hit. His baton is 13. It's Giza that has 12. So Murray is going to go with the dodge parry, or the retreat parry, sorry. And that's a 10. So she pulls back, no problem. And Ervig cannot step forward because Ervig has already used his step this turn. So he can't step forward automatically right now. So we end that turn. We go over to Murray. Now Murray is going to step forward and launch her attack, rolling against a 16 right here. And that's a 15, so we just got it. And Ervig is going to be doing a retreat parry again, and finally he does not pull that off. So it looks like he's finally going to take a hit here. He got a 12. Still rolled 1 skull though, which is the best roll you can get, but he only got 1 this time. So now we're going to roll a 1d plus 2 impaling. And ooh, we got a 6, very nice. So that's 8. So that'll drop that down to 6, and then multiply by 2 is going to be 12. So Ervig is going to take 12 damage here. And Ervig is already at 5 HP, so Ervig is finally been taken out here. So bye-bye Ervig, he's going to go down. Now, once again, we're going with the abbreviated incapacitation rules for him. And we go over to Lance, and Lance is going to attack Giza, the brigand leader. And that's going to be a 12, so that's a successful attack there. Giza, now her back's to the wall, so she can only do a parry. If she goes with a parry, that would give her a 9. That's going to be her best skill right now. And she does not succeed in that. So this is going to be a 2d plus 4 crushing. We're looking at 8, 12, and 2 will be absorbed. So it's going to be 10 crushing damage to Giza, and Giza is already at 6. So Giza is now going to be at -4. So let's mark it on here. HP is -4 for Giza, and Giza does need to make a knockdown check. So we'll roll for a knockdown check. This is against her HT of 11. And wow, she's got a good roll there, no problem. And then we go on to Giza's turn. Now Giza needs to make a consciousness check right now. And she does fine there with an 8. So now Giza will go for an attack with her baton. And it looks like she's going to whiff this time. And we go over to Foxglove. Foxglove is going to span his crossbow. And then we're over to Murray. Now Murray can step over 1, 2, and attack Giza. So this is going to be a moving attack. So she will have a -4, I believe, to her attack for a moving attack. Yeah, so this is a moving attack. So she's going to have a -4 here. So her attack skill is 16. And that's going to be a total whiff right there. So nothing good for Murray. And now we can go over to Lance. And Lance will attack Giza here. And Lance has got a 15, and I think that might be, yeah, Lance has a 15 on me, so he still just made it there. Giza will try to parry. She's looking for a 9. She does not get a 9. And we are going to do another hefty hit on her here. 6. That's going to be 10. 2 reduced for armor. 8. So she's going to take 8 crushing damage, putting her at minus 12, which puts her at below 1x HP. So she needs to make an immediate death save right now. And that's a 8, so she does pass the death save. She also needs to make a knockdown save. And I think she will pass the knockdown save here. Yep, she passes that. Wow, she just barely passes those. All right, so Giza is still up and fighting to the death here. She's going to attack with her baton. And she has got a critical hit, I believe. Yeah, she has got a critical hit with her baton. So let's take a look at the critical chart. So she's automatically going to hit. All right, so we're going to roll on the critical hit table and see what she gets here. And that is a 5. The blow is going to do double damage. Oh, man. So she's going to do double damage to Lance here. Her attack is going to be a 1d plus 1 crushing, so this is going to be a 2d plus 2. And that's 6, 7, 8. And Lance has a DR of 1 against crushing. So the 3 would be against slashing, the 1 is against crushing. So Lance is going to take 7 points of damage here. And that's going to be equal to half of his health, so he does need to make a knockdown check here. So let's roll a knockdown check for Lance. And that's going to be 11, so Lance will be okay there. No problem. He's got the HT of 12. And so that's a hefty blow there. Really, really lucky critical hit for Giza, as she is just about to die here. Her back is against the wall, and she is dealing out critical hits. Foxglove, he is going to, so he spanned the crossbow. Now he is loading and drawing it up. And we go to Murray. And Murray is going to attack Giza here and see if she can finish her off. And 11, that's going to be okay. Now Giza is going to go for a parry here. And that isn't going to be above her parry of 9, so she's not going to pass that. So Murray will go for a 1d plus 2 impaling here. And that's a 4, 5, 6. 2 will be prevented with the armor. So 4 will penetrate the armor. And that's going to be multiplied by 2 for impaling. So that's going to be 8 damage. So Giza is now at minus 20. And Giza does need to make a, let's see. She doesn't need to make a death save, but she does need to make a knockdown save. And, ooh, so she got a 17 there. So she is knocked down. And we'll go over to Lance. And now Lance can, basically, Giza is dead at this point. And some characters do have a negative trait where they want to kill characters that are down, but I think we don't have that. I think it's called Bloodlust or something of that nature. And I don't think any of our characters have that trait. Now, it is a negative trait. No, I don't see that, but there is a character in Sather's Bane, I think it's Misery. He has that, so he likes to kill characters that are down. But anyway, Now that Giza has been knocked out, so she's effectively incapacitated at this point. It's not a full incapacitation because she didn't fail the consciousness check, but she is effectively knocked down, so the fight is over since she was the last enemy standing. So that's going to take care of the fight there, and my God, we took a lot of damage. Murray is, everyone is at half health or lower. Foxglove is actually at -1. So everybody is absolutely beat up from that fight. And I think what we're really going to have to do at this point is we're just going to have to collect all the spoils that we have that we can possibly get. One thing that we can do is we can take the equipment that they have. So we could try to take some of this equipment to sell it. So when we come back in the next episode in part 3, I'm going to tally up all of the different loot and things that we can get. And there's also, I believe, some loot for winning the battle as well. And we're probably just going to have to take all that back to the nearest town and try to use all that to rest up, because we are in no state to be hunting for deadly beasts in the forest now after taking all this damage. But at least no one died, and we were able to deal with these with this ambush, which cost us pretty dearly. So thank you very much for joining me for this epic battle today, and we'll see you in part 3.